Hello everyone. Hi. I'm sorry I'm a bit late tonight and I'm still finishing my dinner. So I hope you can wait 1 minute or two and then we can start. Sorry about that. But I arrived a bit late. Meanwhile you can chat in the chat. Yeah. Still finishing my dinner. I can put it here. And here. How are you guys? How are you? I'm pretty good. I would like to do some good changes tonight. Let's hope so. Hello Hami. Hello Riccardo. My dinner is okay. Chicken and French fries. I mean nothing major. Yeah, exactly. Eat healthy and make good code. Chicken is pretty healthy, so. So I've been doing a few things. I want to show you where we are. I don't know if you followed the last streams, but there's been a bit of work in the last streams, mainly to ensure that we were spawning items properly. Unfortunately, that didn't work as expected. So I think I will have to re-engineer the spawning of items. Right? I think we have to redo that. Somehow. But just the automatic spawning at the beginning of the game. Another thing that I did was to work a bit on the exchange window. We did it together in the last stream, if you remember. Basically now we can pop up a simple window which allows us to exchange items. In particular, we want to be able to exchange items with NPCs, because as part of quests we want to be able to exchange items. We can already drop items, as you have seen. So if I open my inventory window, okay, fatal error. Okay, for some reason it didn't work. I don't know why. It was working the other day. Let me launch it again. I don't know why I said fatal error on dropping an item, but it was working okay the other day. We can check. But we are able to drop items and to pick up items properly. And our inventory system is already writing to the database the information needed. What was that fatal error, by the way? No idea. What the hell? Is it crash on the server side or is it crash on the client side? The game is crashed. Okay. I don't understand if this is server side or client side. The server seems to be running. Yeah. The server is running because now it detected the timeout from the client. So it's definitely the client that crashed. We did a few changes, but maybe the target object. Yeah, maybe the target object. There has been few changes to the. Maybe let me do a clean recompile. Okay. Let me do a clean recompile so we are sure that. Well, not clean. I mean, we don't want to clean everything, but just to ensure that we have the latest code compiled. The latest changes actually are about the set target object. What I did, I allowed the object that you click to be an NPC, a player, or an actual item. And I'm not sure if this change is the one that is making the engine mad. Could be, because it's the only change that I did since it was not crashing. So I think it's the only change I did. We could debug. We could launch the client in debug mode and see what happens. Maybe that is the easiest. Or we can check the log and see if in the log there is more information. Hello Maui. Hello Zwei. How are you guys? I finished my dinner, by the way, in the meantime. I didn't advertise anywhere in the stream today, so but we already have 10 people watching. Wow, nice, thank you. Good to see you. I can advertise it as well, but first let me check what is going on. So the server is up, the client is up. Seems that when we are clicking on the object and we are selecting it, because replication is enabled on target object, and because we want the target object to be available client side or server side in the same way, so that we can, we can play with that. But it seems that as soon as I click, let me see, let's not click on this thing, okay? Because clicking on this X seems that it was crashing the client. So let's go to the NPC and let's click the NPC and see if that is crashing as well. And then maybe we launch the client in debug mode and see what happens. Okay, I'm clicking on it, huh? Nothing happens. Okay, so seems fine. Seems definitely fine. Seems definitely fine. Okay, there is a falcon here on the ground. I'm clicking on it. Boom. Fatal error. The game has crashed and will now be closed or whatever. Okay, when we click on an item, we get this thing. So I think it's probably has to do with the changes I did to the item selection. I just did it yesterday. So hello Andre Caesar. What I'm doing, I'm making an MMO. Actually, I'm porting our MMO to Unreal. We already have an MMO. If you are interested on what is it and which one it is, you can just go to planeshift.it, and it is our game. It's a bit of an outdated game, I would say, so it's not very new. You know, it's been done a few years ago, and I would say many years ago. And now we are trying to port it to Unreal. Obviously, porting to Unreal, we can convert a few pieces, but so what I'm doing, yeah, we have to redo other pieces. Right? So what we are doing is to go through this process. We already have in a decent state now, so we have a server running. We can connect with the clients. We can say walk around in our world. We can do some stuff for sure. So let me see what happened in our client, right? Let me see what happened. Pretty big stack. Set target object. There it is. Yes. I think, you know what? I think I'm crashing in my printout. I know where I'm crashing. PS item 1824. I think I know where I'm crashing. There is exactly the function. Item data get name. I just decided to use a printout to put a printout to just show what we were clicking on, and it is where we are crashing. If you have any other question, Andre, feel free to ask, no problem. Oh, by the way, let's just quickly advertise on Facebook and a few other places, okay? How do we want to call the stream of tonight? We will call it Another Day, Another Crash. I think we can. I mean, this has been a bit tough, you know. The last few days we crashed a lot, but another day, another crash. We can do it. Okay, I will call it like this. Another day, another crash. We can do it. Okay, which is, I mean, showing a bit of problems, but not too many. So I'm just posting. Sorry, I'm doing it on another monitor. Huh? I'm posting on Facebook. I'm posting on Twitter just quickly. So maybe we have new friends joining us and seeing the stream. We can do it. We can do it. Okay, let me just also post on IRC. And lastly, last place, let me post on the Unreal Discord. So under streaming. Well, someone is looking there, but if someone's looking there, it's fine. Okay, we did it. Advertisement completed. So it's crashing here. Why is crashing here, you would ask? Well, what we are doing in this line, actually it seems it goes inside actor data, because if you see the log, we are here at 2099, exactly on this line, right? The item is good. We go on item, maybe item data is empty. Could be. By the way, are we on the client side or on the server side where we are doing this thing? We are on the client side. That's why I think I did something very stupid, boys. I mean, I know exactly what is the problem. The only problem now is trying to fix it. But I think I will show you in the editor what I was doing. We can do it, boys. We can do it. So, did I really do set target object on the client side? That's not a great idea. So, we are inside our character blueprint, okay? Our character blueprint is our stone guy, our Cran. And instead of that, when I click on an object, I do a bunch of stuff which you don't care too much about it, but I select this trace is basically getting the object that is under my mouse. So in this case, the Falchion, and checking if the item is not selected already, blah blah blah. But then the only issue I have here is that I'm doing this. I'm doing set target object. Actually, this function should be called server side, not client side, right? So I think we need to, I mean, the best for us would be to implement a new function which is just doing the flip-flop, you know, between client and server, calling this thing. Yeah, I think we should do that. Do we do it on PS character? Yes, we do it on PS character. So let's do this, because at the moment, set target object, let me just check, it's only this one, okay, so we don't have, just to avoid duplications, let me check if we have any duplications in our Planeship player controller. I don't know. Set target object. Okay, we don't have any duplication, so we can, I think, create a new function here in our player controller. And this function, we can put it, look at how much stuff there is here already. Wow. We can put it here at the bottom, inside mouse and keyboard. Maybe not, because this set target event is not mouse and keyboard. I think we should put it inside the main graph, right? Inside the main graph, I think we can have, so do we need to have any feedback from the server when we set the target object? No, we don't need. So we only need a new event, so we add a new event, a new custom event, and we call it set target object, right? We call it set target object, and as a parameter, he has one input parameter, which is our actor. So we'll call it target object, and we will set it as an A actor, right? An actor, okay. And what? So this one we want to be executed on the server and be reliable. So we flag those two things here. So set target object, execute on server, custom event. This one we'll call our set target object, which is the function that is running on the server. Self is me, meaning the character. Yes, I think it takes only the object. Okay, and then it takes the object this way. I don't think we need to do anything else, because we just need to call it on the server side. That's it. Right? We don't need to do anything else. Just ensure that our Do I do anywhere get target object? Get target object. Yes, I do it in few places. I do it here. But at this point, the object will be replicated already, right? I think so. So I think it should be fine. Let's see, let's test it out. So we created that function. So that is, let's say, let's call it set the object we click on as our target on the server side. This information is replicated to the client. It's a bit of a long thing, but I think it's always better to place more comments than less comments, right? So okay, so we can call this function whenever we need to set the target object. In our case, we need to call it only one time from from where? From here, where we have mouse and keyboard. And when we click, where is it? Left object, left mouse is here, blah 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 blah. So instead of calling this one directly, which would be called on the client, we want to call it on the server side. Okay? And so instead of this, we just call set target object, but not the function, the event, which is this one. Okay? And this one we can remove, and the target object is our selected object, which we just to be sure that is an actor. Yes, is an actor. Okay. Let me just gain a bit more space. Okay. Fine. So now it should not crash anymore, basically. Okay. To explain you why, I don't know, if you're interested in why, I can explain you. If not, I can just move on. If you're interested in why it was crashing, I can tell you. Now it should not crash anymore, let's see. So now we should also see on the server side, instead of the client side, the printout of the object we have selected. Let me just zoom it a bit so you see it better. Okay, boom. Cranny cran. Do you want to try on this one? See if it crashes? Okay. Ah, it didn't crash. You are not trusting me, huh? It didn't crash. Let me see on the server side. Yes, the server side says set target object, small battle X, and then he also gives us the ID 1240, okay, which is the ID in our database of this particular X. So it's working okay. Let's try to click on the lady and see if it works okay. It should, but let's just try. And then the other thing I want to try if the dialog pops up properly. So let's click on her, and you see here at the bottom it said set target object mail end key 65031. Actually, this 65031, I have no idea what is it, but I don't think it's our ID. I don't think it's our ID. Set target object. Maybe I can differentiate it, you know. I can say set target object item and set target object NPC or player, where actually is NPC or player, right? It's one or the other. For some reason the get UID, because I got get unique ID. Okay, that's fine. I think, yeah, it's fine. The get unique ID is the identifier of Unreal. It's not our ID, which is fine. Okay, so I think the printout, anyway, it doesn't crash anymore, and it gives us this information on what I'm clicking on. Now, what I want to see is if I click here, yes, I go into speak mode, and the difference from before is that, okay, we have the quest trigger, we have the buy to just go away and close, and we have the give item to actually here I wanted to put the name of this girl, but it's not working at the moment. Okay, so give item to whatever. So if I click on this one, you see the exchange window pops up. The problem with this exchange window is that for some reason it's not fully working. I mean, in particular, it doesn't have a background. The background is only on this small piece of it. I don't know why. Ah, okay. Oh, because I can resize it in theory? I think I can resize it. Okay. It was the resizer just there. I mean, this exchange window for now is extremely basic. Okay, so the layout and the UI will look nicer. Okay, so now it looks just a bit basic, but At the moment I'm just working on the code and not much on the UI. So what we want to do, basically in this case we gave her an item. We want to give her an item, right? So we can already drop from our inventory to, for example, another inventory slot, right? So we can do this, and it's multiplying because I had 3 axes, right? I had 3 axes in a stack. So if I put this on this, it becomes 2. I put this on this, becomes 3. Yeah, it becomes 3. And here I split it. So I can already move between my inventory. What I cannot do yet is to move between here and here, right? I cannot do it yet. So it's something that we have to do. By the way, we have to clean up this window to be just thinking, but yes, why the slots are like this? They show an icon. I think because we didn't initialize the slots at all. So we need to initialize the slots to empty, and then we need also to change these things to be the number of coins that we have. Right? Maybe we can put a separation bar here, and I don't know why the size of the window is a bit off. I mean, it's not really the size I wanted it to be, but it's slightly off, you know. Anyway, okay, I think it's fine. So if I try to drag now one X from here to here, it will do nothing. But the code is already sensing it, you know, it's sensing that we are moving from one slot to the other. So what we have to figure out is to first enable this exchange window to receive our message, our movement, and then to actually allow this to be moved between one container and the other container. Okay? We need to ensure that. So to do all of this, one thing we want to do first maybe is just to clear out the exchange window. Let me just do that first. So we go to our exchange window, which at the moment is simply like this. Actually, I have a padding of about 10, but when seen on screen, it seems a bit too much. You know, I think I want to have the same distance that I have in this one in the inventory. I think this looks nicer. This sizing is too much. So maybe what we can do is let me check how much is in the inventory window. In the inventory window, how much is this distance? It doesn't say. Well, actually, it doesn't really show here. It seems super small. I know. I think it shows. Okay. Each slot has a pad. Let me check padding. Padding is 0 everywhere. Padding is 0 everywhere. Maybe it's on the grid. It's on the grid object. Let me check the grid object. Actually, the grid object is a padding at the bottom, but I don't think that this is making. No, it's not what we are seeking. Row 5, column 2. I don't see any padding though. So how is this happening? Scale, transform, 1-1, angle, pivot, 0505, clipping. Is it the grid itself that has a specific? But I have a grid as well in this one. This one I have a grid exactly the same way. The only difference is that here I added explicit padding. I said Yes, you see, I said padding left 10. If I put it to 0, let me try to put it to 0, but I think he will. Or maybe it's okay. Maybe he already has a border. Maybe it already has a border. Let me put all the padding to 0 and see what happens, okay? And then if it doesn't work, we put it back. But maybe he already has a border and I didn't notice. Okay, now all the padding is 0. And if we zoom in, yeah, I think he already has a border, yes. So I think it's fine. I think we can leave it all without padding. And it will look like the inventory window. It looks a bit weird now because he's trying to put items in the grid in a uniform way. And okay, the other thing we want to do, I don't know if this makes a difference if I make it exactly the sides, but we had a kind of a divider or border, right? And I think we want exchange. Maybe we should make it a bit smaller because it seems too big overall. Can make it a bit smaller. If I take this grid and I move it up, can I move it up somehow? No. Okay. I think we have to make it a bit more compact because as it is now, seems a bit too big. What do you think? Okay. And here, okay, here is our text block. Well, basically here will be, I can put it empty, but this will be the different money, you know, the different money thingies. In particular in our atlas, let me just change the icon so we have different icons. In the materials, atlas icons UI, and this thing. So we have the tria as the first icon, which is 11. So we should just do 12, 13, 14. Okay, 12, 13, 14. I don't remember if we had the 3 at the bottom or the 3 at the top. Let me check with our wiki. This wiki. Permission denied. No, not this wiki, another wiki. This wiki, this wiki. We have so many wikis. We love wikis. So if we go to Unreal Engine and we do this, and we so I just distracted myself for a second. I wanted to search our guide, player's guide, in-game help. I don't remember. Let's search exchange window. I just loaded it yesterday. Player buying, trading, and selling. Okay, we had the 3 at the bottom. This was the old window. Okay, the window in the old game. So we want the 3 at the bottom. So if we want the 3 at the bottom, we should just place 11 here, 12 here, 13 here, and 14 here. And the same for this. 14, 13, 12, and 11. Okay, at least now here we will have our now can we remove this text block because it's not very nice to see? Yes, I think we should. Should we say 03? I don't know, we can. 0 hexa. Well, we said we had the 3 at the bottom. Okay, sorry. and we will change this text, you know, as if you are wondering what are these names, these names are the currency, we have in the game, right? And the currency is divided in 4 different type of money, each one being more expensive, yeah, more worth. And so we have yes, we have Tria, which is like the one coin, you know, Hexa, Octa, and Circle. Circle being the most costly one, if I remember well, 250, I think it is. 253 is. Okay, so we can make it a bit more compact. Now here I added 2 background images, but to tell you the truth, I really don't like it. So I will remove this background image. I will enlarge maybe this one. Let me just move this up. I think can be pretty close to this. And so our background image now will become something like this. So our exchange window now is a bit more compact, which I think I like. I like it to be more compact, right? There should also be a button to actually accept the trade, right? Otherwise, so we should have a button like this to accept the trade. Do we have this icon? I think we have this icon because it is here somewhere. We don't have it actually in this window, in this one, but we can, well, is this one, I think is exchange. So 0 1 2 3 4 0 1 2, so it's 4 2. This one is 4 2. We can use this for now, then we will change the icons later on and we will improve it, you know. I said 4 2, okay, 4 2. So we put it at the bottom. Another another button actually should be similar to this. Should be a W icon. This one is a W icon, right? Which is created by us. So I should get a W icon and I put it here and I make it the same size, I guess. So what is this size? There's no size because it's in a grid. Okay, it's fine. We can make it even a bit bigger, right? Because this one is the one that is actually accepting the whole thing. So in this one we said 4 2. I think we said 4 2. 4 2 or 2 4. No, I think we said 4 2. Okay, so this will be our button to actually accept the trade, right? And then we have to decide if we want to do it this way or not, but okay. Now the other thing we want to do, so now we will see properly these icons. It will be a bit more compact, you know, and look it a bit nicer. Maybe this text is still too big, but we'll see. Now what we want to do next? Do you think I should make it even more compact? Like moving it a bit on the left? I don't know if it then becomes confusing, you know, you see all these things that look all the same. Then the other thing we want to do, we want to initialize this to be empty at the beginning. We don't want to see these default icons in any way, right? We don't want to see that. So this could actually be now 400 by 525. 400 by 525, because we actually have a way to set up, okay, we have a way to set up the window side, the default window size, which is actually here inside window data. Took me a bit to find out, but at the end I found it. And here we have window size for all our windows as a default. So we said 400 by 525. Okay, this will be our window. Okay. So the other thing I wanted to do, I wanted to initialize the slots. I don't want the slots to be like this. I want the slots to be initialized properly, right? And so let's take the same code that we are using for the inventory. Create a box inventory is lost the first time, the second time just clears that picture. Yes, so when it's clearing the picture is exactly the thing that I want. I just doing like this, update slot. Update slot. So I could call, the problem is that update slot is on the slot itself, right? Yes. So I could do a for loop, or I can just clear them all. I could get all the childs of, I could get all the child window. Okay, let's do this. Maybe getting the child window is the easiest. So in the initialization of this window, so in the event construct, right, in the event construct, what we want to do, we want to do a for each or for loop, yes, for each loop, and we want to get all the child window of this, of our grid panel. So our grid panel, we have to promote it to a variable. The way you do it is you click here on is variable, and now our grid panel is a variable. Let's just call it properly. Let's just call it grid panel give and grid panel receive. Okay, so that we are, so it's a bit better, receive, give and receive. Okay, now that we have these two, now that we have this, we can go into our code and just say, you see that this became variable, so I can see them here on the left now. So I can just get my grid panel give. I will just get it. I want to get all the children. So I think there is a get children or whatever. Get children count. No, I think there is all child, all children, all something. What was it? Under widget, no, under panel actually. Under panel there was something like add child, clear children, get child add, get child, get child, get children count. Okay, we can use get children count, and then we loop. Then in this case we need to loop. We need to loop for this index. No. This is the last index, not the first index. The first index should be 1. And from 1 to, right? From 1 to the max, what we want to do? We want to get, let me just do this because I like to organize things this way. What we want to do, we want in the loop of our cycle, we want to get grid panel get children count. We want to do get child at, whatever it is, from an index. So this index is our index, and after we got the child, we want to clear out. Well, first of all, we have to cast it to our W slot, otherwise it will never do anything because it doesn't know it's a W slot. So we cast to W slot something. Okay, and after we cast it to this, we want to call this update slot, which is a function that is basically deciding the icon, the image name, and everything. So we set everything to null, so everything to empty. So all the slots will become empty. At least this is what we do in the beginning. You know? So at this point, update slot, yes. At this point, when it's completed, we want to do anything? No, we don't want to do anything. I think it's fine. So this is basically, let me just move this thing up, this thing down. So this doesn't exist anymore, by the way. Click button 64. Button 64 doesn't exist anymore. No. So I think I can remove this one. It's just a ghost of the past. It's a ghost of the past. So we will call this just initialize all windows to empty. So there is initialize all slots to empty icons. Empty icons. So it's clearing out all the icons. Okay. Then what? Then let's say that we have initialized, so we will see all of this properly empty, without anything and also without any stack count. Now what we want to do, we want to be able to drop an item from here to here. Right? We want to be able to do this. Now, how can we do this? So first of all, we need to check. First of all, we need to check the way we do. So we need to go inside my slot icon. So the slot, because everything is driven by our small slot. You know, a slot is, just to tell you what it is one of these things. So one image, right? One image. When you click on it, there's a lot of code behind that is telling it what to do. And in particular, our W slot item, here it is. This little guy here has code behind, and okay, apart from update slot, which is fine, we have, there should be a piece of code. There it is. Is it above? Okay. Here is the code. Is basically checking where we are dropping the item, right? Where we are dropping the item, because we can pick it up with our mouse, then it's attached to our mouse like this, and when it's attached to our mouse, we are checking where we are landing, you know, where we are clicking. We're clicking back, you know, in the same slot or not, or in another slot, or into the world. And this piece of code here is doing exactly this check. So it's checking if the target object is a slot. If it's true, well, if it's false, he assumes in the world, and so it drops the item into the world. If it's true, now our problem is that we have to identify if it's the inventory window or if it's the exchange window. I don't know yet how to do this, but if it's true, the first thing that it does, it prints this out. Moved item slot to slot. Okay, let me see what it prints out when I do like this. It prints out moved item from slot 28 to slot 0. From slot 28 to slot 0. I mean, why 0? Because we didn't initialize this at all. Yeah. I think we have to initialize these slots with numbers. I just want to be sure that I do it exactly the same way as the old code was doing it. Exactly the same way. Because then the server side will be the same, right? So the question is, how was the old code considering the exchange window? The easiest way to do it for us is to just launch the old client, get a bit of retro gaming, and let me just save everything I did because I want to save it and compile it. A bit of retro gaming. We launch our old client, which we all love, and we have to be sure that we enable the message logs, but I think I did. Let me see in the logs which logs we enabled. We enabled nothing. Okay, we have to enable, I think, messages, and with messages we will see a lot. We can also maybe enable, there is exchanges. Let's enable exchanges. Let's enable these two logs. Sorry, I have to launch it again. Okay. Okay. So what I want to see in the old client what happens when I'm moving one object from one slot to the other inside my exchange window, because I think it's all managed. We will be this guy. I hope it works, because yesterday was crashing a lot, but then I just enabled one parameter in addition to our config files and it started to work well. Look at how much time it takes to load compared to how much time Unreal takes to load. Right? Please don't crash. Okay, it's not crashing, at least for now. So what I want to do, I want to do this. There's some guy here crafting, by the way. I don't know what he's doing. Hello, it doesn't see me because I'm invisible at the moment. This guy named Kegel Mellel. Hello, Kegel Mellel. So we go here, and there's also this guy here speaking with ArqueSt. But we are invisible, they don't see us. We are sneaky. So what I want to do, I want to click on this guy and give an item. Remember, this is the old client, eh? This is the old client, it's not Unreal. It's real, it's not Unreal. So what we want to do, I have nothing in my inventory though. No, I need at least to spawn an item. I need to spawn an item. So let's say item, what do we want to have? Let's spawn a gold falcon, or just a falcon? Just a falcon. Okay, now I have an item in my inventory. Power of being an administrator. So what I can do, I can see, you see there are some messages that are printed out, is basically the death reckoning, so the movement, all the network messages for movement that are yeah, going through, and some other stuff. So for example, now we got, what we got? We got something that appeared here because we got a big message. Maybe someone just connected. Yeah, someone went in our proxy list or outside our proxy list. But anyway, we want to see when we move this here, what is the message? There it is. So let me save this, select all, put it somewhere because we want exactly this thing. In particular, you see that, okay, this was the art bit, which we don't care. So let's remove everything from here down. Then it did, let me just put everything on one line as it should be, otherwise it's very hard to read. Okay, there's another art bit here, and there is a glyph request. I don't know why. Okay, apart from the timing, which is a bit annoying to read, but you see that it did message slot movement, so you actually recognized that we clicked, and then it says from container -1 slot 0 to container -3 slot 6. Okay, perfect. Stack count 1. And why did slot 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know, maybe it starts from 0. I don't know. Start from 0? Could start from 0. Let me move it to the first one. Slot 0. Yeah, slot 0. Yes. Slot 0. Yeah, we start from 0. Okay, we should remember that, that we start from 0 as a slot. So, the trick of this whole thing is that we have two containers which are actually not existing in the world, because all the containers in the world have an ID that is greater than 0. So this container says minus something, and in fact here I have a small legend, a small list, you know, which is saying that -1 is inventory bulk, -3 is exchange offering, -4 is exchange receiving. So the only thing we should do, we should name our slots from 0 to 6, from 0 to 8, and then just know that we are starting from this container -3. Right, so we need to know, so one thing that I don't know if we are recording it already or not, is the container, because no, I think we are not, because we are forcing the container manually here. Okay, so this is something we have to add to our code. We need to know when the character is clicking on something, item attached to cursor. So if the item is attached to the cursor is here, no, we need to, I think, spawn a new widget. I think it's inside of this thing. The only problem is that we don't have the container here. No, I think we need it. I think each slot need to know in which container it is. This is a pretty big change, but I think we have to do it. There is no other way. Because each slot should know which container is coming from, or which, yeah, exactly. So we need to know this. So we need to extend our slot to have also, where is this? Item name, inventory slot, weight, size, stack count. I'm just checking that we don't have it already, just to avoid doing things twice. Icon image, row name, data table, material, string, and cursor, item, freestyle. No, we don't have it. Okay, we don't have it. So we need let me just organize these icons exactly how they are in this list so it looks a bit better. Sites, inventory slot. Okay. Inventory. So these are our basic objects, right? Item name, icon image. So I remember that there is a way to group them into a category. So if I say category slot attributes, wow, I love this. Sometimes this editor is just so cool that I'm just blown away. I mean, it's so handy, you know. It's so easy to program with this thing. It's so handy. I love it. Just love it. I think you guys should all start to program with Unreal. I really think is a great engine. I really love it. I just feel a bit noob, you know, because I don't know it enough. So even if I'm learning, but I really know little at this point. I just would like to know way more to be able to do better stuff. But every time, I mean, the more I use it, and the more I find it very, 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 very cool. Very, very cool. I would say very, very epic. But just because it's made by Epic Games. But yeah, I find it very nice. Very nice. Okay. What we should do here? So I can imagine there's also on cursor though, because on cursor is part of the update slot. It's not an attribute. No, it is. It is. Also on cursor and item are all. And item are all part of our yeah, of our slot attributes. Okay, cool. So we want to add a new one. So why I did this? Because it's a bit more organized, you know, and so I wanted to have it a bit more organized. So I want to add a new variable, and this new variable will be called container. And this container, at the moment, unfortunately, it will be an integer. Why? You say, why you don't do an enumeration? Enumeration would be much easier and much better and much nicer and much whatever. Yes, you are right. The only issue is that enumeration type in Unreal do not accept negative values, and all our code is using negative values for these fictional containers like the exchange window, the inventory window, and such. So using the enumeration, we will have to change the actual code so much that I will have to retest everything, and I don't want to do it. So I want to keep the code as it is, and this thing is so cool. By the way, okay, sorry. So let's go on and let's set this container ID. This container ID we should add it as a parameter, as a new parameter. Before doing this, I have to change this one, right? I have to change update slot, which is one of our main events, adding a new parameter, and this new parameter will be exactly container ID. Will be container ID and will be an integer like we said, and it will have a default value. No, not default value. As a default will be null, right? Yes, and and we need to get, so where do we start to update all of this? We start update this widget variable. I think we start from here. Okay, we start from this one. So this one will need to have an additional set. Let me take also the small dots so everything flows properly. Yes. And here we will have a set of our container ID, right? And the set of our container ID will be equal to container ID, right? Okay, so whenever we call update slot, we are also updating this variable. Fine. Then when we pick up an item, create slot, add to viewport, update slot. Now that is interesting because pick up item with mouse. So here is exactly where our logic comes in, right? So we should know from which container we are coming. So I think we should put it probably as a parameter of item pickup, because let me check. Find references. Item pickup. Item pickup is coming from here. How do we know in which container we are? That's a good question. How do we know in which container we are? Is the container itself that is telling the slot, right? I think it is. I think it is. So I think here we should just have a get and setting it here. Fine, right? So we're just creating a new slot that is looks like this, and we put it on the cursor, and fine. But this slot should know when this slot gets created, right? So here, when these slots get created the first time, when is the slots getting created the first time? The first time, let me search for update slot. If I find the references to this, I find it once here. Okay, we changed it already. Another one's here, and another one here. Forcefully drop the item if it's attached to the mouse. Okay, but I mean, this is fine, but it's not what we want. By the way, can we change the order of this container ID? And I want this to be here. Yes. Okay. Okay. So apart from this, but what do we want to do? We want to, when we create the slot, we want to set his container ID. So I'm a bit surprised that update slot is only here. Update slot should be also, should be also in another place, right? Should be at the minimum in our inventory, for example, right? Update slot. Or is it done? Yes, it's here everywhere. Okay, nice. So you see, now we are creating, now we are in our inventory, we are creating the bulk slots for the first time. And what we want to do, we want to force the container ID to be -1. I know it's not nice to see something like this. We are coding a number into the code, but for now it would be like this. So our inventory is -1. Why? Because again, it was a negative and numerative, so it was a numeration. We should a negative number in the old code, and I don't want to change all the old code. That's basically why. It sucks, it looks bad, probably yes, but for now we keep it like this. Don't complain. Don't complain. You want to complain? Don't complain about spaghetti. Spaghetti hard-coded numbers. We are in a demo mode, okay? So we're just doing a demo. So don't be so hard on us. Nice. Okay, so container is -1. Container ID is -1. Now we want to do the same everywhere. For example, here where we are, populate field inventory slots. Populate field inventory slots. Well, and this one we just take it from here. We put it here. Easy. And what else? There is another place. There's another place. Also here -1. Even if I don't know if -1 is only bulk, and wait a second, because I think that -1 is only bulk. Let me check again, because I think equipment, yeah, -1 is only bulk. Equipment is -2. So everything that goes into equipment, like we said, like we seen it 1 second ago, this one should be -2. Okay. And if you were wondering about it, okay. Fine. Are you guys still there, by the way? I see the chat is very quiet. It's super quiet. Why you are so quiet? Sleeping? Nah, you're still there, huh? Okay, I'm checking on you sometimes, huh? I'm checking on you. Okay, so so we did this, which is nice. So now we have our container ID, which is properly set to the container that we want to move things. Okay, fine. We have set -2 when is an inventory, when is an exchange, when is an equipment. We have set -1 to the bulk. right? And now we have to set, for the exchange window, right? And we have seen that the exchange window was what it was. Exchange window offering is -3. Okay, so we need to, when we create our exchange window here, and we are initializing all our slots to empty icon, we take our container ID and we say -3, right? The only problem is that when we put an item on it, do we change this? Good question. I don't know. For now, let's put it to -3 and that's it. Okay? Because when they drop an item into the exchange window, it should not keep, I don't know. Okay, anyway, this is -3, right? This is -3. So what I want to see now is that when we are moving our item, no, sorry, we have to do one thing more. One thing more we have to do is to ensure that now we don't have these hard-coded anymore. So we need to do something like, if our slot, the slot that is attached to my mouse, so item attached to cursor, we go here on cursor through, right? We go here, is target object a slot? Okay. If it's true, I think we should switch on int, right? Can we switch on int? We can switch on int, and what we can do, we can take our container ID, right? And we can switch on, no please, I need another number. No, not 0. I need -1. How do I change it? Can I change it? Switch on. Yeah, switch on int, but my int can be negative. I have a negative int. How do I change this number? No, I want -1. I mean, I can make it absolute. I can is abs something that exists? I can make it absolute and switch. I mean, it's not great, but no, it's not great, but okay. By the way, I started testing the Blender character setup and info for Unreal this weekend. Okay, nice. I continue to work on this and let you know. Okay, good, very good, because I continue to convert, let's say, items, and I think I converted a good number of items, and I have it all in Blender. I don't think I can show you the directory from here because it's another PC, but I have, let's say, the majority of the items in Blender. Well, not the majority, sorry. I have a good number of items in Blender, not the majority. But if we could move also the character setup and the character is moving properly, I would just start to redo the animations one by one. I know it's super painful, I know, but I mean, to tell you the truth, our animations are not that great, right? And so if we redo them, we can just do them better, so I think it's good to have a character set up. Maybe yeah, you will need 2 or 3 setup anyway. So like humanoid and Kleros is separate, Kran is separate. I can give you a list if you want, but Enkidukai are separate. Male and female can stay on the same right? So if you look at the races, do I have a page with races somewhere here? Mm. Mm. Is there a page with all the races? Well, anyway, that is on the main Planeshift website. I think if you want to do, I mean, if you want to have some in common, even if girls and males, I don't know if it's a good idea because they should have very different movements, you know. You know, our girl is walking and our man is walking, so it's very very different. But if you want, sorry, races is here. I mean, if you really want, but I don't think I like it because we discussed this already. But if you really want just to try, you could have Illians, Dermorians, Noltrir in the same skeleton. Okay, it's not great, but okay. I'm suffering as I say this, but Kren should be separate, standalone. Clearer should be standalone, and Kidokai should be standalone. And then you can have, well, maybe the Indun could be. No, he has a tail. So he has a tail, so probably should go by himself. And then dwarves, all the dwarves should go together. And Lemur could go in theory with the Illians. Yeah, with these three races. But anyway, if you're doing, my issue is that if you do man and male, sorry, male and female in the same skeleton, I don't know if I really like it. I mean, we could have different animations. Okay, you could use the same skeleton and then have different animations applied. So the skeleton is the same, but they walk differently, right? That would be okay for me. So at least we don't redo the rigging. So we do the rigging one time, right? But if you look for reference walk animation male, I hope nothing bad comes up, but yo boy, this guy is walking like he's the boss of the town. Yo boy. And if you go for the same but female, yo girl, do they walk the same? No, they walk differently. Right? The thing that is impressive to me is how the character is staying. I mean, how the middle body, the pelvis, let's say, stays exactly the same height, or basically at the same height, the same height all the time. While in the majority of our animations and the majority of the character animation I've seen, it is going up and down a lot, which you see, look at the, well, it's going, like, the guy is going up and down more. The guy is moving like up and down more. I don't know if it's just this guy that feels like a boss, and so he's like walking like he's jumping a bit, you know. But anyway, if you need reference animation, there are a lot of videos for reference animations on YouTube. I mean, if you have the same skeleton but we use different animation, like you call it walk male and walk female, I mean, they would be fine with me. But and then we call it like yeah. So if we have to put like whatever helm, you know, helm on the head of those characters, we do it once for everyone. But all of that has to be reasoned a bit because I mean, I think we want more variations than not. But okay, let's go back to our thingy. Let's go back to our thingy. So what I was saying, yes, the our container actually should come from here. So we want to switch. Okay, so we make it absolute. Do we do this thing? So we make it absolute. So basically our -1 is now becoming 1 and our -3 is becoming 3. Yeah, maybe it's okay. I think it's a decent solution, you know. It's not great, but it's not bad either. So I think we can do this. Can we switch true or false now? Can we switch the order? No. Okay, true is always up and the false is always down. Okay. Then I have to move everything. Okay, it's fine. We'll see it a bit like this. So now move item from inventory to inventory slot, right? So we know the source because the source is this one, but I don't think we know the target, right? Do we know the target? Yes, it's here. Target inventory slot, self target, what is self target? Self inventory slot, target inventory slot. Okay. These are the two things. So we want both actually. We want both. There are a million cases, by the way. Do we want to really do these million cases, or we just don't care and we just pass it all to the server? Because we could just, I mean, why we need to switch? Why we don't just pass in self inventory slot? Instead of this, we do get container ID, right? And we do the same for this, get container ID. Yes, we can do like this. I think it's much better, right? I think it's much better, boys. We don't need this. We just pass to our code the from container. I just don't know if the from is, the from container is this one. Okay, yes. And the target container. That's it. I think that's it. Because then is our code. It is already handling this. I think it's our code that is already handling the fact that we are. Yeah. Absolutely. I think this is a pretty good thing. Now let's try to print out also the additional information. Okay, let's print out also. Let me move this in a place where I can see better. Okay, here is fine. So let's print out the full thing. Also the fact that, so moved item slot and we put the slot. I would like also to say the container though. So let's add a few more things. So this D, which one is it? This one goes like here, and we want to say container, and say container, so from slot B container something, and this container will be this guy. Okay, Visual Studio decided that he wanted to start up. Okay. Sometimes when you click on the editor in some weird places, it just launches Visual Studio. I still have to understand what is it. Container, this one, yes. Okay, it's just a printout, so we just do this for fun. But I have a Menki mesh and Kliros mesh, but if you could send the others, it would help with the testing. Okay, we can do that. You want the static T position, right? Okay. I think we also have the issue that some characters have different positions, different starting positions. Like some have the hands facing the palm of the hands facing forward, others have the palms of the hands facing down, if you get what I mean. T position, character model, I don't know how to say. Yes, so I think that some of our characters have like the hands facing down like this guy, but unfortunately some others have the hands facing forward, or anyway facing slightly differently, you know. So there is something, well, we can change it. I mean, we can rotate the hands of them, but this could be a problem while you are trying to make a single skeleton. So move item from slot B, container this, then we say to slot F, this one, yes, container this. Okay, fine. So we print out the whole I mean every variable, so we know what we are moving from to. Okay, this is fine. So now the code will react to this change and will obviously try to populate accordingly our windows, but I mean the server side will work, but the client side will not work yet, because let's go step by step. So let's try to execute it like this. Okay, let me just save and compile everything just to be sure that by the way, this freaking toolbar was here, but I did a bit of a mess before, and I messed up my toolbar. I removed it from this window, and now I have it like this. I don't know how to restore it. Like this. Okay, I think it's fine. Well, not exactly like that. I mean, some windows is here, and some other windows is here. I don't know. Maybe like this. Yes. Okay. I think I managed to put it back. What I was saying? Ah, yes, I was saving everything and compiling everything just to be sure. Save and compile. Well, also it is wrong. I don't know why. Slot item. For sure, this one is one of the most relevant ones that we have. Other times when you click on stuff, some C++ code pops up. What is this? What is there? Why it popped up? I have no idea. Okay. Okay, let's launch it this way. We can close the old client, I think. We don't need the old client anymore. At least not for now. We will need it soon, I guess, but not now. So, I didn't change any code, so I can just relaunch server and client without any issue, which is pretty good. Oh wow. Okay, not exactly what we were expecting, boys. Our exchange window is a bit fucked up. I mean, why? I mean, it's better than before, but I think we initialized only the give and not the receive. Okay, that's fine. And maybe we start to initialize from 1 instead from 0. But why he has this small sack icon? At least we got the icons right for the coins. The coins are correct. The coins are nice. I like it. But we don't have really initialized. Oh, anyway, we initialized it in a kind of a weird way. Why do we have all these default icons? And I can also pick it up. Okay, so let's see what happens. Let's see what happens when I mean, that's just initialization code, so I think it's fine. Let's see what happens if I pick an item from my inventory and I drop it like in the first slot. Or maybe let's drop it in the slot that now is empty, which is a bit better. So I take it from here and I drop it here, okay? So let me see what the server is saying. Move an item from slot 28, container -1, to slot 0, container 0. That's not nice. That's not nice. Let me put it in one of the one that we initialized, okay? So I will put it on top of this small sack. Better, because it says from container -1, slot 0, container -3. Well, slot 0 is not exactly cool. My axe, I think it disappeared, but no, I didn't. It's still not working properly because why the slot is 0 of the from slot 20 container -1 to slot 0 container 1. The target slot is wrong. The target slot is wrong. We didn't initialize it, right? That's why. I think so. We did not initialize it. We should do. Our slots are starting from 0, so we should do this -1. Decrement there was? Decrement int. Subtract 1 from the specified value. Minus minus. So cool. So cool. Okay, so we do this, we do this, and we do this, and we do this. Okay, so at least we have our slot set with the proper number. Set with the proper number. And empty. I don't know why we are getting all these small sacks. I have no idea. Container -3. There is one thing we want to do. The other thing, we want to start from 0 and not from 1. But get children count. Okay. Yeah, but if I start from 0, it will not work, right? I mean, if I have get children count loop and I go from 0 to whatever, the last index will default, you know, will say I'm stupid. Right? So we should decrement it first, then go here. Then because the children count is one thing. The 4, I mean, if we are 0 based, this is 1 based and this is 0 based, so we have to decrement it all the time. I don't know if there is a smarter way, but at the moment this is the way I'm doing it. So we take this. Sorry, but now we can start at 0, right? Yes, now we can start at 0, so I don't need the decrement here anymore. Okay, fine. So I just take this and I put it on this. Okay, so this should update our slots to be I mean, doing all the slots. Now we need to do the same with the other panel, with the receive panel. Now the receive panel, what difference he has? He has a difference. I think you have to do all of this exactly the same. Right? Exactly the same. Can we make it smarter? Probably not. I get a children count, I decrement it. I decrement it, and then what? It's so uneven. Okay. Much better, my friends. So we do this, we do this, we do this. We go from 0 again, yes, to the last index -1, yes. We get the child of this guy, yes. We cast it to slot, yes. We put it here as a target and we update the slot accordingly. With the difference that our container receiving is now -4. Is now -4. So it is -4. Now why we have this slot 0? Because we were not updating it, right? Okay, fine. Stack count. I don't know why we have the small. Okay, let's try again now. I think it should be better now. At least we initialize all the slots. I don't know why we are getting an empty icon. I have no idea, but it's fine. Empty icon for now is not a problem. Making an MMO one pin at a time. One pin at a time, boys. Sorry, I got distracted by an email. Oops. Okay, so now we initialize, at least we initialize all the entries, right? And initializing them all, which is nice. We still have a problem with the background, but I will fix it later on. But all these ones are initialized to nothing. I don't know why they show the sack icon, but I will figure it out. Now, if you're moving this from here to here, let's say, I should be getting, yes, move item from slot 28 container -1 to slot 3 container -3. Okay, perfect. This is what we wanted to have. Right? So now, on the server side, what happens? It gives an error saying that can't find exchange 0. Character client requested exchange slot moved, but it's not in an exchange. Okay, yeah, that's true. That's very true. So at the moment we are forcing the window to pop up just because I wanted to test it, okay? But we are not actually trading with anyone. So there is no NPC on the other side. Okay? There's no NPC. So let me try to close this. Let me pick up this one because I always need access. Right. So we go here. We go here. Pick up also this one. No, this one will do it. So if I want to speak with this lady, right? And I want to trade. If I click on give item to, my exchange window pops up on her face. But anyway, pops up. Should stay somewhere like here in my inventory. So this is probably why we had the mini inventory. Yeah? Okay. Anyway. So now, am I in an exchange? No. So we have to find out what being in an exchange means, but I think we need to initialize the server because now we say the same thing. When I move this from here to here, the server will say, hey, you are not in an exchange, cannot find it. Okay, so it doesn't like the fact, but we can now find out what our client was doing. What our client was doing, I think it was initiating an exchange, right? But we didn't copy, let me see. I didn't copy the lines before this. Let me Ctrl Z forever. No, I cannot Ctrl Z forever. Why didn't keep the whole thing? Fool me. Okay, so, but I think that it's a good point anyway. We can at least pop up the exchange. I would like to see her name here. But then, we can move items from one slot to the other. We should also be able to move money. No, money doesn't like it. Okay. I think we did something good though. Huh? What do you think? I think we did something good. So I think that, so the next step, which we can do tomorrow, hopefully, the next step is to ensure that now our message is properly. Let me take a screenshot of this just for fun. Let me just remove all of the shitty things. When I'm clicking, it disappears. I think I can take a screenshot of this and post it just as an update, you know, what will be the what we did. Now we do this. Don't complain. I mean, it's some progress. It's some progress in our history. We are writing history here, boys. I don't know if you realized it, but we are. So let me save it as. Let me save it as progress. Progress like NPC. Let's call it progress NPC. And then let's go in our just a second because I'm not logged in or not. Okay, so we can post it under Unreal. Do we have a section for Unreal? I don't remember. No, we have just news and rules and whatever, right? No, we had a post on Unreal with some Unreal program, Unreal Engine. Oh, we have a new. This one I didn't. Really? I didn't put it. So the other one I put it in general. Updates on EU develop. I think this one should go into the Unreal thingy. No? Yeah, why I place them here? I should move this. Move topic to Unreal Engine. Oh. And live streaming, you can move it to Unreal. And this one we can move it to Unreal. Okay, we can post a new one. Nice. We can post a new one which says Real Engine. We can say new topic. Why this window is so small? Okay, I made it a bit bigger. Real Engine progress. NPC chat, NPC talk, NPC dialogues, and exchange. It is a screenshot of an NPC we can speak with by clicking on bubbles for quests triggers, and we can pop up the exchange window to trade items. At the moment the window is not yet functional. This is the work of the next days. Enjoy. Keep the faith up. Again, you can say May Langs be with you. Which posted by Talad, I think is pretty funny. Okay, so we just have to post the image. I don't remember if the last time I posted it on Imgur or whatever. Did I post it? What did I post it? Where did I post it? I put it in our FTP. Okay, I can do that. So we can go in our FTP. Hopefully my IP address is not changed again, or I have to re-authenticate like the boss. It is obviously changed. Okay, 1 second, I have to re-authenticate this side. Customer area, on another PC. At the moment, just 1 second, because I have to enable my FTP access. Because yes. And then because there is an IP block on FTP to avoid problems. Okay, so under public, under where do we place it? Under download, public download, and that's it. You can copy our image, which is here. Okay, we drop it here. Yes. And then we what is this? Progress NPC. Okay, so we tell the world what we are doing. I think that they deserve to know. I don't think if they care, but they deserve to know. Anyway. Modify progress NPC. What was the file thingy? I don't remember. Copy pasting always easier than anything else. Okay. There it is. Boom. I think she looks nicer, by the way, than in our old engine. I think the lights are much better. Okay, the shoulder are a bit spiky, but we can solve that, okay? Don't complain about the shoulders now. We will redo this character a bit. We will improve the polygons of this character. But the face looks pretty cool. Even if it's a very old texture, I mean, it's still looking nice. The body is okay. I mean, just these spikes on the shoulders are not too good. But okay, small progress. Okay, boys, I think for tonight is enough. Just because I want to do something else for about 1 hour and then I will go to bed. I think it's been a nice stream. We did a few things. We fixed some of these in Exchange. We managed to have this Exchange a bit more compact. We added the right icons here. We added new buttons. We managed to have our slots understand in which container ID they are. And based on that, we are passing on the container ID to our engine, which is pretty cool. This means that now the next thing we have to do is to ensure that we are initiating an exchange properly, and then after we initiated the exchange, we can actually have the exchange working, right? Okay, good. So with that, I think I will close and we should just check in everything we did. We should just commit to SVN. What we can say, did I add anything? Any new file? No, but we changed a lot of stuff here. So I think the main thing we did, we fixed the set target object. Yeah, so we fixed set target object to accept NPC, players, and items. Then we improved Then we improved the exchange window. With better icons and initialization. And then we extended the slot to have also the container ID, which is needed in exchanges. Right? We can check in all of that, and then we can yeah, we will continue tomorrow. I think tomorrow, let me just check, but I think tomorrow evening I can stream again. Maybe not for many hours, but I think I can stream. Yes, I can stream. I can stream tomorrow, I think. So tomorrow, so we'll see each other again tomorrow evening. Okay, boys? I will leave you with this kind of screenshot that we just did. Why not? I mean, it's not the best. Still something. Still something. GG!